Hey guys, welcome to new video. First things first, it's 17 minutes or 16 and a half minutes long video about dumb trends from internet. First things first, disclaimer, don't do that at home. Here is disclaimer 2.
Do not try doing any of the things mentioned in this video.
Yeah.
Tide Pod Challenge. So you're having a lazy afternoon
Tide Pod.
scrolling through TikTok when you stumble upon a video of a teenager
it
casually
is this
popping a
shit.
colorful, squishy Tide Pod into their mouth.
It's fucking chemicals. It destroys your stomach. It's acid which shouldn't be eaten by you.
For a split second, your brain does a double take, and you're left wondering why anyone would want to eat something that's not on the food pyramid. You just witnessed the Tide Pod Challenge, where common sense takes a back seat to internet fame. So this trend kicked off in 2018 when some people decided that
Probably you can find something different for it. Some tablets which look like this shit, but don't do that.
filming themselves while biting into these soap-filled pods that look suspiciously like candy would be a fun way to go viral. Well, they aren't candy. They're colorful little packets of toxic chemicals for laundry, which sent many of these challengers to the emergency room as the challenge quickly turned into a horror show of burns, vomiting, and in some cases, serious lung damage, all for a few likes and shares. It's safe to say that this trend didn't leave a good taste in anyone's mouth, literally. The whole fiasco got so bad that even Tide had to step in with a public service announcement begging people to stop treating their detergent like snack food. Because apparently, don't eat laundry detergent needed to be said. Cinnamon Challenge. One evening, you're hanging out with your friends, you know, just trolling and daring each other casually, but one of your friends decides to spice up the dare by betting that you can't swallow a spoonful of cinnamon in one go. So, you accept the challenge. It's just a simple kitchen ingredient, right? But as soon as you scoop that spoonful of cinnamon powder into your mouth, it's like you've unleashed a dragon inside your mouth. You'll be
it's stuck everywhere and mostly dry you out because it condensate water on itself.
Left choking, wheezing, and coughing like crazy. This is because cinnamon is like the Sahara Desert of spice. It's dry, powdery, and absolutely determined to turn your mouth into a wasteland. And this is what people decided was fun in 2012. Suddenly, thousands of people on the internet were filming themselves trying to down a full tablespoon of powdered cinnamon without water.
Better is cinnamon or than the Tide, than the washing machine.
See, those people who tried it ended up coughing, gagging, and desperately trying not to inhale the fine powder, which, by the way, can seriously mess with your lungs. Some ended up in the hospital because they started developing severe respiratory issues, and there were even reports of people ending up with collapsed lungs. All of this for a mouthful of misery and a few seconds of internet fame. The Salt and Ice Challenge. So it's the 20...
But it's normal. Salt and ice is normal chemistry practice. Yeah, I know it. We did it in 8th class in primary school. So yeah, it's fucking hurting you. You must put little bits of salt in your hand and then squeeze the ice cube. And
it's a time when people are going crazy over the internet and doing all kinds of bizarre things to get attention online. Because you didn't want to feel left out, you decided to join in on one of the challenges, you know, to get some of that attention for yourself as well. Unfortunately for you, the trendy challenge at this time was the Salt and Ice Challenge, which involves sprinkling salt on your skin and then pressing an ice cube on top. The aim is to see who can keep the ice on the longest, because apparently that's what passed for entertainment. If you have never missed any of your high school chemistry classes, you'd know that this combo is
high school. It's not primary. Yeah, for Czechia it's primary school, but yeah, America has different.
Extremely dangerous. You see, as the ice comes in contact with the salt on your skin, the salt lowers the freezing temperature of the ice, and in just a few minutes, you would develop severe burns that look like frostbite. People who participated in this challenge ended up with second and even third-degree burns, all for the sake of a viral video. Hospitals reported an increase in cases of frostbite from people who didn't realize that the fun little challenge they saw online could leave them with permanent scars. Condom snorting challenge. You've probably seen the infamous party trick where a magician would put an item inside his nose and magically bring it out of his mouth or one of his ears. The condom snorting challenge is quite similar to this magic trick, except this was not a trick but a real-life trend that real-life people participated in. To be a part of this challenge, you'd have to have a condom first, unwrap it, and then literally inhale the rubber through one nostril and try to pull it out of your mouth. The goal is to prove how daring you could be for likes and attention on social media. Well, everything went horribly wrong because the latex started getting lodged in some people's throats and lungs, leading to choking and asphyxiation. Because, newsflash, your nasal passages and throat weren't designed for foreign objects, especially not stretchy latex ones. Bird Box Challenge. The Bird Box Challenge was inspired by the 2018 film Bird Box, where people had to navigate the world blindfolded to avoid certain doom. So, just like any other dumb trend, some people thought it would be fun to replicate the idea in the movie and move around doing their everyday tasks.
At home it's not so bad, like if you get outside. You can get hit by car, you can... or some... If I remember it well, somebody was driving with it. Okay, nowadays self-driving cars are more common, mainly in USA they are common, so yeah, you can say to Tesla to drive you somewhere, but still it's
blindfolded. Now, the people in the movie obviously had a reason to be blindfolded, plus they have safety measures in place to help them avoid any real danger. However, the real-world guys didn't think any of this through, and literally started doing all sorts of crazy, dangerous things completely blindfolded. Some were driving, walking down the street, and even cooking. Well, things began to take a horrifying nosedive because they were running into walls, tripping over things, getting severe burns, and ending up in road accidents. It didn't take long for authorities to step in and remind everyone that sight is
cooking is not so bad if you're with someone. If there is someone with you, he can stop you if he see you putting hand where shouldn't be, like in pan.
Actually pretty important for most activities. Milk Crate Challenge. Let's say you're at a backyard barbecue when you spot a stack of milk crates. Instead of using them to store drinks or supplies, you come up with the bright idea to stack the crates into a giant pyramid and see who can walk across them. Because, naturally, nothing seems quite as fun like balancing on a shaky tower of plastic. Since it was your idea, you go first while the others watch. You step onto the first crate, feeling like a tightrope walker, and by the time you're halfway up, your knees start to wobble. As you reach the top, the crates collapse, sending you and your dignity crashing down into a pile of plastic and grass. This absolutely dumb challenge was termed the Milk Crate Challenge, where the only thing higher than the crates are your chances of ending up in the ER. What started as a silly stunt quickly turned into a viral sensation in 2021, with people all over the world.
It's no so far away. It's 4 years, 3.5. I don't know it.
Attempting to conquer these wobbly towers. As you can imagine, most attempts ended in disaster, with participants toppling over and suffering from broken bones, dislocated joints, and a whole lot of regret. However, even with the clear dangers, people kept trying because what's a little risk when there's internet fame at stake? But as the number of injuries skyrocketed, doctors and safety experts began to caution everyone to step away from the crates. Kiki Challenge. In 2018, singer Drake's song In My Feelings became a hit, and of course, with any hit, people started to create trends for the song. Finally, one stuck out and was aptly named the Kiki Challenge. Basically, if you were participating in this trend, you would get out of a moving vehicle and try to dance alongside the car. The whole
Yeah,
idea was to
mostly
showcase
on
your best
first
dance moves on Drake's hit song,
something
but
like
it
that.
wasn't long before the challenge proved to be more dangerous than fun. Because some people would trip, stumble, or even nearly get hit by another vehicle, which made them end up with scrapes, bruises, and broken bones, turning
Or
what
hit
was supposed to be
a
a cool
sign.
dance challenge into a potential disaster. The dangers and risks involved got so much that the police and safety officials had to start issuing warnings, reminding everyone that
nice.
jumping out of a moving car is not exactly the brightest idea.
But in Cobra 11 there was Simir Gerhan, which do that every day. He jumped from the vehicle and he saved the day. Nothing more, nothing less. So he good I can.
Vodka eyeballing.
That's
It's the
cheap.
weekend and your parents are out of town. Just like any normal teenager, you decide to throw a party and invited almost everyone from school. There were more than enough snacks and the drinks were flowing, and before you knew it, the party had taken a wild turn. To intensify the wildness, you decided to show off a new drinking trick you saw on the internet a few days ago. While everyone watched in silence, you poured vodka into a cup, tilted your head back, opened one eye, and poured the vodka straight into it like it's a medicated eye drop. Before you do the same thing to your other eye, you explain to your audience that this is the ultimate way to get drunk faster. And one by one, everyone started doing the same thing. This was the vodka eyeballing trend that started in the late 2000s, a trend that convinced
Yes, you will get drunk and you will get blood poisoning from the alcohol, and you can even get blind. So don't do that.
people that pouring alcohol
Don't do that.
directly into their eyes would give them a quicker buzz. The logic behind the trend was the alcohol would skip your liver and seep straight into your bloodstream through the delicate membranes of your eye. Well,
But it skips the liver every time. It goes to the liver after the blood will circle your whole body. But okay.
this is not true, especially considering most of the vodka ends up streaming down your face rather than getting absorbed. But then your eyes aren't designed to handle 40% alcohol, so if you try vodka eyeballing, what would follow next is intense burning, stinging, and a flood of tears. Instead of catching a buzz, you're more likely to end up with a raging eye infection, corneal damage, or even a risk of permanent vision loss.
Yeah,
Despite
but
the
you
painful
still
and
get
obvious
some
risks,
alcohol
vodka
to your
eyeballing became a party trick for those looking to show off, even though it was more likely to get you a trip to the eye doctor than a hangover. Despite all of these dumb trends, there's
Still
one that is not
something
dumb
get
at all
inside
and
you.
is full of fun, and that's joining our Discord server. Banana
Awesome.
Peel Challenge. You've probably seen cartoons where a cartoon character would step on a banana peel, slip, and do a ridiculous tumble before falling on its face. The Tom and Jerry
Because
cartoons
it's
were filled with
cartoon.
scenes like this. Well, some people decided to do the real-life version of it. So the idea here was simple.
Dumb.
Throw a banana peel on the ground, then try to walk or run over it without slipping. And that is the Banana Peel Challenge. If you've ever watched a cartoon, then you probably know how this is supposed to end, with you landing flat on your back, legs in the air, just like in a slapstick comedy. But this wasn't just cartoon-level fun and games. People seriously attempted to navigate over slippery banana peels while filming their attempts for Instagram likes. The challenge led to a lot
Not
of
TikTok.
real-life failures, with participants slipping,
time it
sliding,
was?
and sometimes crashing down in dramatic fashion. What started as a funny gag quickly turned dangerous as people underestimated just how slippery those peels could be. From twisted ankles to bruised tailbones, the Banana Peel Challenge turned out to be a classic case of it's all fun and games until someone gets hurt. So while it might seem like a hilarious way to channel your inner cartoon character, the Banana Peel Challenge is one of those trends that reminds you that not everything from animation translates well to real life. Hot Pepper
about
Challenge. Have you ever
anime?
tasted hot chili? Let's say you mistakenly got
Yes.
some in your mouth without knowing, or a friend dared you to just have one bite. Now imagine the pain you felt and
Yes.
multiply that by 100, and that would probably give you an idea of just how dumb and dangerous this particular trend was. Basically, if you were participating in this trend, you would first of all buy several bowls of the spiciest peppers like the Carolina Reaper and ghost peppers. You know, the hotter the better. Then you would literally start stuffing them in your mouth like candy while filming yourself. The goal is to endure the intense heat without reaching for a glass of milk, water, or anything else that might soothe the fiery inferno in your mouth. It's basically an extreme version of a spicy food challenge. Your mouth would literally feel like you've swallowed a live volcano, and your eyes would start to water like you've just watched the saddest movie ever, but it's not from emotion, it's from sheer, unrelenting pain. But the pain doesn't end here. Your throat feels like it's closing in on itself, and your stomach starts to churn like you've swallowed a batch of burning coals. As the heat just keeps building, you start to regret every choice that led you to this moment. You're convinced this is what dragons must feel like after a bad meal. The hot pepper challenge seemed like a harmless bit of fun, but as you sit there sweating with your tongue on fire and your dignity in tatters, it's clear that some things are better left uneaten. Those super hot peppers pack a punch more suited for a daredevil stunt than a snack. And while the challenge might get you some likes online, the aftermath is a lot less fun, especially when you're left batting a full body meltdown. Gallon smashing challenge. So let's say you're...
That's so fucking... That's shitty because of the... how our bodies are made. We are 70% of liquid. I will not say water, we are 70% of liquid. If we get it bigger or higher, we start to swallow. Your hand will swallow, your leg will swallow, everything, even a brain. So if you get too much water or some liquid inside you, you can die from it. So don't do shits like this. And with milk you start vomiting because of the, how it's called, milk is not classical water or liquid water. It has protein inside.
You're at the grocery store, scanning through a section of junk food when you suddenly hear a loud crash behind you, followed by a splash that sounds like a tidal wave magically appeared and hit aisle 5. You turn around to see a teenager sprawled on the floor, drenched in milk with a smashed gallon jug beside them. Now that is the gallon smashing challenge that went viral around 2013. To do this challenge, you would go to a grocery store and grab a gallon of milk or juice, then pretend to trip and dramatically smash the container on the floor, spilling the contents everywhere. The point of this challenge is to capture the whole messy spectacle on camera for some quick laughs and internet fame. Although the challenge seemed like a harmless prank, it quickly turned into a sticky, slippery mess. It often resulted in employees having to clean up massive spills, customers getting splashed or even slipping, and stores facing property damage. There's also the matter of wasting perfectly good milk or juice. Kylie Jenner Lip Challenge. The Kylie Jenner Lip Challenge is like playing a game of...
your lips start swallowing from the pressure and you can break the parts in it.
Dress up, but instead of dressing up dolls to look like your favorite celebrity, you're damaging your lips.
Yes.
So the idea here is to get your lips as plump as Kylie's without the magic of makeup or surgery, which was actually how Kylie got her lips to look plump. To do this, all you need is a shot glass, a small jar, or anything that can create a tight seal around your lips, then suck as hard as you can to create a vacuum. Now, after a few hours, you'd remove the shot glass from your lips, and boom, you've got the Kylie Jenner lip. Everyone jumped into this trend in 2015, hoping to achieve those famous Kardashian pouts. But instead of achieving the desired full look, participants often ended up with lips that looked like they lost a fight with a wasp. People had bruises, swelling, and even busted lips were all part of the fun. Although, fun is probably not the right word when your mouth looks like a cartoon character after an anvil falls on them. What many didn't realize was that the suction could cause blood vessels in the lips to burst, leading to pain, discoloration, and sometimes even permanently looking like this. The Take a Bite Challenge. As a
That's
kid, you were
shit.
probably dared by your friend to lick a frozen pole, and you did it because, well, you didn't want to be a chicken. Now imagine that same dare, but
Never.
instead of a frozen pole, it's a bar of soap, a stick of deodorant, or a raw onion. Well, that was
Onion is
basically the take a bite challenge, where the only thing dumber than the dare itself is the decision to do it. To do this challenge, you'd grab the weirdest, most inedible object around and sink your teeth into it as if it was a juicy burger. As the challenge went viral, it got even weirder.
me
People were
$1
biting into
billion
things like
and I will do
candles
it.
and rubber shoes just to get the reactions from viewers who
But
would cringe,
every day.
laugh, or maybe even gag. It was like a bad episode of a food challenge show where the menu was compiled by a 3-year-old left alone in the pantry. The wackier the object, the better. Now, while some things were just gross or strange to bite into, like biting an onion or garlic,
But
others were
onion,
downright
garlic,
dangerous.
not
If you
bad.
think about it, biting into a bar of soap might seem harmless,
bad.
but that soapy taste comes with a side of nausea and maybe even poisoning if you swallow enough. So the challenge went from funny to foolish pretty quickly as people realized that chomping on random non-food items could lead to more than just a bad taste in your mouth. This made some of the participants end up with broken teeth, stomach upset, and an urgent lesson in why certain things belong under the sink, not in your stomach.
That's true. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this torrent video. I enjoyed it. Thanks to the evolutioner, evaluator. For this video, I'm slapping a like. We will be seeing together in next video. Thanks for watching and have a nice week in front of you. Meanwhile, bye.